Judaism is definitely my religion. Judaism is definitely very evident in everyday life, just like how you're raised.
Sure.
Everyday life would be morals and just ethics, just how you're raised is a big part of Judaism. Treating people right. I did when I was 13. We read from the Torah, spent a lot of months practicing because I don't know Hebrew, didn't know Hebrew then, so it was a lot of just like memorizing of what it says and kind of how it sounds, and then reciting it. The bar mitzvah is about reading from the Torah for the first time ever.
Okay.
That's a sacred thing, is to be allowed to read directly from the Torah. Torah's the Bible.
Yeah.
The First Testament's the same story, same exact thing.
Okay.
So it's just when you're first allowed to, when you're 13 or 12 as a woman, to read from the Torah, and then some cultures, some society, or some communities celebrate it as a big party. Others, it's just like just family and friends kind of thing. So West Coast kids do some parties, but a lot of, if you go like around the world, over like in Israel or in like South African place like that, or Europe, big parties aren't a thing. It's just the service. In my area where I grew up, you have like your service, which is like the bar mitzvah part, and then you invite all your friends, and there's a big party, like a DJ and like mini weenies, stuff like that. Like part of a bar mitzvah is that it's important to the family, it's important to yourself. Like I had a bunch of non-Jewish friends at my bar mitzvah, and for them it was just a party.
Yeah.
And like in that, like I grew up in a decently Jewish area, so for them, whenever there was a party, it's like, oh, dope, just a party. Like it's more about I'm gonna find my importance in it, especially to the family, and then I'm gonna provide a good time for everyone else. When they're still celebrating with you, and instead of like, it's just like a good atmosphere. Done studying, I was done like practicing for it, and it took a lot of time to practice for it.
Yeah.
So like once it was over, it was like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. We're leaving, yeah, and like if you break it down, I guess a little bit, it's like, okay, cool, Judaism, I'm a man now, but it's more of a symbol. Like turning 13 to become a man, that the symbol of being that rite of passage of becoming a man is being able to read from the Torah. More extreme communities don't want to recognize it as being a man technically.
Okay.
Like if it comes down to like you're old enough, you're a man, like society wise, but like religious wise, you're not technically a man. But others believe that just by turning 13, just kind of like 18's a legal adult here, or 21's drinking, just being 13, like just that age is considered a man for religious purposes. Bar mitzvahs are traditionally just for men, and recently in like modern Judaism, just modern life, women, like it's called a bat mitzvah.
Yeah.
And it's just been just morphed into just that's being okay, which totally agree with. Like there should be no difference. But bar mitzvah is a big, like you're coming from, like you're learning, you're a kid, to you're just part of the community now. For religious, like for reasons, anything that has to do with like biblical times, like anything like that, like religious standards, you're considered part of that community. So definitely a big aspect, big ritual. Take a bunch of pictures, it's a big memory. Me personally, like it was a weird phase, like you're 13, so like you have some pictures of like an awkward stage, something to look back at, and it's also just like a big moment for family. Like so not every family will meet once a year, or not every family will meet even every 5 years, but in Judaism it's like, oh, you're having a bar mitzvah in the family, everyone get there, do what you can. Judaism is very individualized.
Okay.
There's not one way to do it. There's no, like if you don't have there's a lot of Jews, especially in AEPI, that have never had a bar mitzvah, don't even know a single thing in Hebrew. They're just as Jewish as the next person. Biggest misconception, unathletic. Quirky dudes, this little Jewish white kid, what's he doing?